New York taxpayers who had to foot the bill when the state's attorney general went after Trump could now be on the hook for AG Letitia James' legal defense fees as she tries to battle mortgage fraud charges. Also in New York this morning, opening statements do begin in the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking trial, showing the dark side of Hollywood. And joining us to talk about these issues and more is Washington insider Armstrong Williams. Armstrong, good morning to you. Before we get to all that, let's talk about some of this big news this morning about prescription drug prices. President Trump says that he will sign an executive order aimed at cutting drug prices to match other countries and would slash drug prices by up to 80%. I mean, this is very encouraging news this morning.
Jen, it would literally stop people from dying. Can you imagine the number of senior citizens opt not to take their medicine because they cannot afford it? And just think about these drugs are literally manufactured in the same place with the same ingredients overseas, and we're paying 80% more. Pharmaceutical companies have gotten rich and greedy at the expense of Americans dying and becoming ill. Now, they're going to argue the fact that it's going to limit research and development. That's going to be one of their arguments. But let me just tell you something. They've exploited the American people enough. It's high time that someone actually does something about it. And we should be thankful for this executive order.
Looking forward to seeing more about that later this morning as well when he signs that. Now, the DOJ has opened an investigation into New York Attorney General Letitia James over loans and property purchases that she made in both New York and Virginia. And now she is trying to use taxpayer dollars to pay for her personal legal fees. What do you make of this and the fact that there is even a provision in the state's budget to cover an official's legal defense fees?
Yeah, wait a minute. The legislature snuck in $10 million to make sure that the taxpayers pay for whatever legal defense she has against Donald Trump. She accused Donald Trump of the same, and yet, as her lawyer, Abby Lowell, said recently, it was just an error. We made a mistake. Even alleging that her father was her husband, her spouse, that was a mistake. Yes, we made a few errors, but we later corrected that in the document. Just go back and look. Come on. This is why the Justice Department has opened an investigation.
Also in New York, at least 80 arrests were made on Columbia University's campus. We saw this. These anti-Israel protesters tried to take over the library. Students were studying in the middle of finals. What do you think about the university's response this time? And why are protesters destroying college campuses focused on the one war that was begun by terrorists?
Well, you must give their new president, Claire Shipman, credit. She literally cracked down on them. Not only were they arrested, they were suspended. They cannot march. It bled over into the faculty members, and also students coming from other universities participating in these protests were banned. It's the right kind of sign for the administration, who had considered withholding tons of money from them that they need in order to carry on their academics. And so we'll see. But it is a good step. It's something we've not seen before, ever, in the history of these protests.
It's a big change. Finally, this morning, the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking trial will get underway in New York, and it's really emblematic of the dark side of the entertainment industry, Armstrong, and Hollywood. What can we expect, do you think, moving forward in this?
Well, there's Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Weinstein, Sean P. Diddy. They exploit young girls. They exploit young boys. They take advantage of them. And for Sean P. Diddy, everything is about credibility. He tried to lead us to believe that he never assaulted Cassie once, never touched her. And then the video that was released, which shows him to be a liar. Everything is about credibility. He did not tell the truth. I think he has a wrong road ahead of him, but he's just a symptom of a much deeper issue.
Yeah, and that startling video, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to get away from that. All right, Washington insider Armstrong Williams, we appreciate you joining us this morning. Hope you have a great week.
Thank you.